Welcome to another edition of the Sports Beat with Richard Holdridge. This is my special Halloween edition. I will not air a show tomorrow as I do have a family obligation. So on WQEE, you will get one of the Georgia Alabama Sports Live shows. I think I might play the one that Thrift and I did with Mike G from the War Report. That was phenomenal broadcasting at its finest. If you haven't looked at it yet, you might want to go check that out on Georgia Alabama Sports Live's Facebook page and YouTube channel because it was absolutely brilliant. Just the banter going back and forth between the three of us. It was instant chemistry. And I do appreciate Mike G from the War Report as he is such a talented broadcaster. And I was honored to be on a show with him along with Thrift. So what we've got on this show, I did my local stuff to Columbus on Georgia Alabama Sports Live's Facebook page and YouTube channel earlier today. This is a bonus show that you're getting on the Sports Beat with Richard Holdridge's Facebook page and YouTube channel. And, of course, both episodes you can catch on WQEE 99.1 FM The Key out of Noonan. And so on this show, I'm going to talk about college football. We've got Week 10. We've got some teams that are on upset alert. I'm going to talk NFL Week 9. The Atlanta Falcons are taking on the Dallas Cowboys. Big game at the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. The NBA season is just getting started. Next week, we've got college basketball that's going to be starting up. I'm excited to be a sports fan. Let's go. All right. Tuesday night, going to recap the college football games. Florida International beats New Mexico State 34-13. Louisiana beats Texas State 23-17. Sam Houston beats Louisiana Tech 9-3. All right, last night, Jacksonville State beats Liberty. 2 losses in a row for the Liberty Flames. Unbelievable. Kennesaw State does lose to Western Kentucky 31-14. Kennesaw State is not going to be going to a bowl game as they are now 1-7. And Harris County's own K.D. Hutchinson had 2 receptions for 34 yards. He also rushed the ball for 15 yards. Thursday's games, we only have one on the slate today. We have Tulane taking on Charlotte. The Friday games, Georgia State is up in Storrs, Connecticut, taking on UConn. South Florida is taking on Florida Atlantic. And then the nightcap, Boise State on that blue turf. Do they still have the blue turf? I don't know. They're taking on San Diego State, and Heisman candidate Alshon Jeanty is going to be featured in primetime like he was last week. All right. Teams that are on upset alert. I'm starting with you, Ole Miss. Lane Kiffin, Ole Miss, 6-2. They have to win out if they want to make it to the college football playoff. But I've got them on upset alert against the Arkansas Razorbacks in Fayetteville. Arkansas is 5-3. They win this game, they are going bowling. And I think that could be an upset. Ole Miss is favored by 7. So, yes, that would be considered an upset. Auburn, I'm sorry to do this to you. I got you on upset alert. Look, they're 7-point favorite. Vanderbilt's 5-3. Auburn is 3-5. Would it surprise you if Auburn lost to Vandy? But Vandy has not really been tested on the road. All their big wins have been at home. So, yeah, Auburn, I got you on upset alert. Oregon is on upset alert. Yes, they are playing the defending national champion Michigan Wolverines. It's in Ann Arbor. It's in the big house. Oregon is a 2-touchdown favorite, but it is Michigan. Donovan Edwards, solid running back. If Michigan does not make the big mistake, they could pull off the upset. I mean, this is a hostile crowd. Oregon playing in a hostile environment. I mean, this is just the key ingredients for a possible upset. I am not going to say that Georgia's on upset alert against Florida. I don't want to rattle Georgia fans, although I think this game's going to be a lot closer than people expect. Georgia's going to find ways to win this game, but I think that this is going to be one of those games where it's going to be very close. Could be a 2-touchdown score for Georgia. And then finally, South Carolina and Texas A&M. Texas A&M is on upset alert. You know, Texas A&M is only a 2-point favorite. Texas A&M is 7-1. They are undefeated in the SEC. They are ranked 10th. It's South Carolina. It's Columbia at night. South Carolina almost beat Alabama. So Texas A&M, I got you on upset alert. I'm not going to say Tennessee is on upset alert against Kentucky. I think Tennessee rolls Kentucky. The funny thing is, when I did my college football playoff ratings, I did not have Tennessee in the college football playoff. Why is that? Let me see. Well, they actually will play Georgia, but, I got them losing to Vanderbilt, the final game of the regular season on November 30th. That game is in Nashville, and Vanderbilt is a very tough opponent at home. Some of the other college football games, Georgia Southern is taking on South Alabama. USC taking on Washington, old Pac-12 rivals going at it. Clemson taking on Louisville. I don't know about that one. I think that Clemson's going to roll in that one. North Carolina, Florida State. Maybe this could be a win for Florida State here because North Carolina is not good at all. Indiana, Michigan State. I could easily have this as an upset alert game. Indiana is favored by 8. It's in East Lansing, but Michigan State is not very good. And finally, the big game, the game of the week. This is where College Game Day is going to be. This is where Josh Pate's going to be for the Every Saturday Tour. Ohio State going to Happy Valley, taking on the Penn State Nittany Lions. Number 4, Ohio State, taking on number 3, Penn State. That's the big noon kickoff on Fox. It's going to be exciting. Oh, one more. Duke taking on Miami in Coral Gables. And that's about it. We only have one top 25 matchup in all the slate of college football. All right, let's go ahead and transition over to the NFL. I'm going to have my top 10 NFL teams. I normally do this on Tuesday. I did not have a standalone show that I normally do for the Sports Beat with Richard Holdridge. I actually ended up replaying some coaches shows that we did. I mean, we had a lot of coaches shows this week. We had the debut of Keeping Up with CSU Athletics. We have a special show where we're dedicated to Columbus State. We had the Pacelli coaches show. We had the Muskogee County coaches show. I'm trying to get some more coaches shows coming up this week as well. All right, so without further ado, let's go ahead and talk NFL here. Week 9, we got the Thursday night football game tonight. The Houston Texans taking on the New York Jets. Mike Greeny said it best that the Jets have been the most disappointing team in the NFL when it comes to the hype. You get Aaron Rodgers because you think that's the final ingredient you need to get to the Super Bowl. The Jets have not made the playoffs since 2010. Their coach last that made the playoffs was Rex Ryan. There is rumors that they might rehire Rex Ryan. Why not? I mean, I think that would be a great culture fit. I don't understand why he got fired in the first place. He led the Jets to back-to-back AFC titles in 09 and in 10. I mean, seriously. Anyway, the New York Jets just need a culture identity. You bring in Aaron Rodgers. You want to fire coaches. You bring in Aaron Rodgers' guys. I'm surprised they didn't bring in right tackle David Bakhtiari. You brought in Nathaniel Hackett, his offensive coordinator. You brought in Alan Lazard. You couldn't get Jordy Nelson because he already retired. You end up getting Devontae Adams. I can't believe the Jets are favored by 2 in this game. I think that the Texans end up rolling the New York Jets, and it's tough luck to be a New York fan right now. Knicks aren't doing very good. The Yankees just lost to the Dodgers in the World Series at Yankee Stadium. The Jets are hosting the 6-2 Houston Texans. The Giants look awful. Yeah, it's tough being a New York fan right now. And I hate that for New York because, I was up there in April of this year, and I love the city. I really do. I just don't like the sports teams. All right, Sunday, the Dallas Cowboys. We expect to see a lot of Cowboys fans at the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. 1 o'clock kickoff, taking on the Atlanta Falcons. The Falcons are 2-5. This is one of those games where the Falcons end up losing because, like we saw when they have a lot of momentum, they win a division game and then they fall flat on their face against the Seahawks. I could see the Cowboys winning this game. But the Cowboys right now are not a very good football team. They should have beat the 49ers last week on Sunday Night Football. The problem was that the Cowboys are just not good, and the 49ers were able to close out that game in the second half because the 49ers offense looked terrible in that first half. Kirk Cousins, right now, I'm going to say this, and it's going to be my hot sports take. Kirk Cousins is a better quarterback than Brock Purdy. Kirk Cousins is going to shred this Cowboys defense. The Cowboys defensive line cannot stop the run. Bijan Robinson and Tyler Algier are going to have a field day. On paper, I think the Falcons can win this game, but I don't want to see the Falcons go back to their old ways. So I do think that the Falcons do win this game. Miami and Buffalo. Tua's back for Miami. Lost a heartbreaker to Arizona last week. It's in Buffalo. Buffalo's favored. I think the Bills win this game. Denver and Baltimore, both teams 5-3. But I think this is a little bit of a mismatch. The Ravens are a 9.5-point favorite. What do good teams do when they get humiliated the week before? They make adjustments and they bounce back. And I think that's what the Baltimore Ravens do at home. The Los Angeles Chargers and the Cleveland Browns. Let the Jameis Winston era in Cleveland begin. I mean, look, we all make fun of Jameis Winston, whether it's Who Wants to Eat a W or crab legs at Florida State. I love his personality. I think that that's the type of person that you need in the locker room. He is just a great personality. Whether you like him or whether you hate him, there is just something about Jameis Winston that is captivating, especially when it comes to social media and, that GIF. I have shared that GIF so many times of him saying Who Wants to Eat a W. I actually think he's fascinating. Now, the Chargers are a slight favorite, but the Cleveland Browns are playing at home. Maybe the Cleveland Browns can get the win here. The matchup of two really bad NFC South teams, the Saints and the Panthers. Does Derek Carr come back from injury? Because I think that the Saints need a lifeline. They've had 6 straight losses. The Saints need to find a way to win this game. Raiders and Bengals, I think with the Bengals getting humiliated against the Eagles, I think the Bengals end up winning this game. The Commanders and the Giants, this is one of those games where, I could see the Giants winning because they're playing at home, but the Washington Commanders with Jaden Daniels and that Hail Mary to beat Chicago, that is a tone setter for the rest of the season. I see the Commanders being a playoff team, possibly winning the division. Jaden Daniels getting Offensive Rookie of the Year. Another matchup with two really bad teams, Patriots and Titans. The Titans they look awful, and they got rid of DeAndre Hopkins, so it's not going to get any easier for them. And then the Patriots, Drake May, Jacoby Brissett. Doesn't really matter who the quarterback is. Jacoby Brissett is just the more polished veteran who can lead the Patriots back to victory like they did against the Jets, but the Jets were really bad too. Bears and Cardinals. The Bears they can't get over that Hail Mary against Washington. Now they're 4-3. they are down at the bottom of the division when the division is great. Cardinals look great. Kyler Murray, it just looks like he has controlled this offense, and I think the Cardinals win here. Jaguars and Eagles. The Eagles are only a touchdown and a half favorite. Wow, I'm shocked. I think the Eagles end up continuing to win, and this explosive offense is just going to put up points in bunches. Lions and Packers. Why is this game not flexed to Sunday night? It's Detroit going to Lambeau, taking on Jordan Love and the Green Bay Packers. We still don't know about the health of Jordan Love. I think he'll play, but he won't be 100% healthy. I think that Detroit will start missing Aiden Hutchinson. I think that they need him to put pressure on Jordan Love or Malik Willis, whoever is going to be the quarterback. I think Detroit gets a win on the road. Detroit is the most complete team, minus Kansas City, in the NFL. I actually think that Detroit can actually beat the Chiefs in the Super Bowl this year. That's how much of a believer I am in the Detroit Lions. Rams and Seahawks. Rams are a slight favorite, and rightfully so. Now that Matthew Stafford has Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua back, the Rams look great. After getting a win over the Vikings on Thursday night, I see them beating the Seahawks up in the Pacific Northwest. Sunday night game. Last time these two teams played, Matt Ryan was the quarterback for the Colts, and the Colts ended up giving up that big lead to the Minnesota Vikings. But the Vikings, losers of 2 straight, they want to try to get back on track. And Colts are going to go to Joe Flacco. They feel Shane Steichen feels that Joe Flacco can give the Colts the best chance to win. This is just a tough place to be because you're taking on a Minnesota team on Sunday Night Football that has lost 2 straight, a very good Minnesota team. The Monday night game, normally I would think this would be a great matchup between the Buccaneers and Chiefs. This was the rematch of the Super Bowl that Tom Brady won when he was in Tampa. But I think that the Buccaneers just don't have the weapons with Mike Evans and Chris Godwin out for the Buccaneers. I think the Chiefs just continue rolling, and they are going to still be undefeated. That was my look at NFL Week 9. Some games last night in the association. The Lakers have lost 2 straight. They lose to the Cleveland Cavaliers 134-110. Hang on a second. You know what? I'm not going to go around and change segments. I've got to get this out because I was supposed to do this Tuesday. My top 10 NFL teams. I'll make it quick. Don't worry. Eagles at 10, Steelers at number 9, the Washington Commanders at 8, Texans at 7, Baltimore Ravens, even though they lost to the Browns, still a very good team. Vikings, number 5. Number 4 is the Green Bay Packers. Number 3, the Buffalo Bills. The Detroit Lions are number 2, and the Kansas City Chiefs are number 1. Yeah, I had to get that graphic because I made it. And I'm proud of it. I like the graphic. I'm just a graphics guy. I like putting graphics here on the show. Now back to the NBA scores. All right, so Cleveland still undefeated. They're 5-0. They beat the Lakers. Lakers have lost 2 straight. Yes, the media, including myself, is making a big deal about Bronny James scoring his first 2 points in the NBA. I still think he's a G League player, and he's going to get sent down. The Warriors. The Warriors are 4-1. Buddy Hield, I think, is fitting right in nicely as they were able to beat the Pelicans. And I know that, that they think the dynasty is over. What if it's just a culture thing? And if they can get some good shooters, Steve Kerr's a good coach. Why not get, players that can fit Steve Kerr's system? Buddy Hield comes off the bench and scores 21 points. And no Andrew Wiggins, no Steph Curry, no problem. The Warriors get a big win at the Chase Center, and they are now 4-1. Upset of the night, the Trailblazers end up defeating the Los Angeles Clippers 106-105. The Thunder, they are 4-0. They defeat the Spurs 105-93. I think it's time for Greg Popovich to retire. I just think that he has lost touch with the NBA. I thought that with Chris Paul that the Spurs would be a borderline playoff team. The reality is that Chris Paul is just up there in age. He is not the same player he was. He is not a difference maker like he was when he went to Houston or when he went to Oklahoma City or when, he is not a difference maker anymore. And you could tell when he went to the Warriors last year, not the same player. Nets beat the Grizzlies 119 to 106. It was the Bulls over the Magic 102 to 99. The Bulls are 3-2. I know Paulo Banchero had a great night. He scored like 50 the other night. The Knicks end up defeating the Miami Heat 116 to 107 with Karl Anthony Towns scoring 44 points. How about Karl Anthony Towns with a big night? Pistons, wow. They get their first win of the season, beating the 76ers 105 to 95 as Tobias Harris returns to the place where he had some success. And the Detroit Pistons' first win of the season. How about this? The rematch of the Eastern Conference Finals. The Indiana Pacers defeat the Boston Celtics in overtime 135 to 132. Pascal Siakam with 29 points. The Celtics' first loss of the season. Charlotte defeats Toronto 136 to 133. And we got to talk about the Atlanta Hawks. Losers of 3 straight. Bilal Coulibaly. You let Bilal Coulibaly score 27 points. The Hawks have no defense. And even though Trae Young scored 35 points, the rookie Zachary Riesesher had 17. No productivity from the bench. They still are, Okongwu is really 24 minutes, only 2 points. I mean, he is just a flash in the pants type of player. No consistency from the Atlanta Hawks. And I know DeAndre Hunter was out. I think that he would be your defensive specialist that could stop your best scorer. I think that you can't stop him. You can only slow down your best scorer. And the Wizards went on a 16-4 run in the fourth quarter, and they just went off. So, and the Nets beat the Grizzlies 119 to 106. Memphis is now 2-3 on the season. So right now, Cleveland and OKC are still undefeated, and it's still early in the season. I'm not going to jump to conclusions about the NBA. Tonight, Halloween special, Suns and Clippers on NBA TV, Spurs and Jazz, Rockets, Mavericks, Bucks, Grizzlies. Let's see what the primetime game is. ESPN, Nuggets, Timberwolves. I think that Nuggets have a culture problem right now, and I think it's Russell Westbrook. I think that when Russell Westbrook is added to your team, you don't improve. And I think that Denver right now and Minnesota, both disappointing 2-2 records. Magic and Cavaliers, that's going to be a great game, 7 o'clock on ESPN. And the Hawks are hosting the Sacramento Kings at State Farm Arena. Like I mentioned on the scoreboard show I do on Georgia Alabama Sports Live, congratulations to the Dodgers, World Series champs, first time since 2020. And that fan that tried to pry the foul ball away from Mookie Betts' glove needs to be banned for life. I can't believe his buddy tried to grab Mookie Betts' hand. And this is just getting dangerous. I know that the whole Steve Bartman thing that happened in 2003, questionable in the stands, but this was absolutely ridiculous. This guy wanted a foul ball so bad. It was going to be an out regardless, so don't even try. You wanted a foul ball so bad. These fans act stupid, and it's a Yankee fan, and he was only banned for Game 5. I think that he should get his season tickets revoked. I mean, that's just my humble opinion. But hey, I only work here. Oh, man, this has been a fun show. This is a special Halloween show because I am not doing a show tomorrow. So have a great weekend. Enjoy all the games. We will see you back Monday. Remember, I'm going the full hour on the show Monday starting at noon on my Facebook page, The Sports Beat with Richard Holdridge, and my YouTube channel. It's my college football reaction show, my NFL reaction show, and I break down everything that happened over the weekend. Next week, we've got college basketball. I'm excited about that. I'm going to be breaking down all the games and everything. And then one more thing before I close. The Dwayne Wade statue looks horrible. That's all I want to say about it. I actually was going to get on this show and just share a picture because if you haven't seen it, it's gone viral. Looks nothing like him. And I'm telling you, they need to hire the guy who made Ed Reed's Hall of Fame statue full-time as the statue maker. If you're going to make a statue for somebody that was beloved in your city, you need to hire this guy, because that statue looked awful. And it didn't even look like Dwayne Wade. It actually looked like Han Solo when he was frozen in carbonite in Return of the Jedi. I mean, I'm a Star Wars geek. All right. Have a great rest of your weekend, everybody. We'll see you Monday.